What is up, my savages? How you guys doing? And it is now classic movie shirt week. Cobra Kai, Reseda, California, Karate Kid series, and also the Cobra Kai series on YouTube. Does that shock you guys of how good it actually was? How YouTube just takes that classic trilogy and they make it into their own series? Who would have thought? Who would have thought it was gonna be that good, man? Right? Who's stoked for season two? I am. I am for sure. But this week, guys, we're not gonna be talking about the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai. We will another time, and I'll also be wearing this shirt, and I'll also be playing a shitload of Chicago for you. But today, I've been meaning to do this vlog for a while about one of my feature movies that is now going to be a trilogy, and I think it is going to change action movies forever. This is Haas. The kings of action in the 80s. Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis. Their top three of all action cinema that make them kings was First Blood, Rambo, Terminator 2, or actually all the Terminators and all Rambos actually, and also Bruce Willis's Die Hard. All the Die Hards. And that's what made them kings. And why I want to make Haas is because that is up to their level. That's why I want to make this movie. That's why I written it a few years ago in a feature film class, and only the smallest class I've ever been in. Only 5 people total, 5 people, and only including the teacher, so that's 6, and only they know what the story is actually about, and they know the full story and script. And I'm thinking of the whole action persona. I'm like, okay, which one of these guys do I want to follow? You know, like I love all of these guys. You know, I love them all. You know, I followed these guys since I was a kid, raised right on movies. But out of all 3 of them, I do not know who to choose. But until when I was a young kid, I saw this one Stallone movie, and it wasn't Rocky or Rambo, because during those times he wanted. Okay, we know him as Rocky, and we know him as Rambo. You know, blah blah blah. It's getting old. He has to do something new, and he was going to do Beverly Hills Cop. He was the first one that wanted to do it, but he wanted to do something else. And Eddie Murphy got to end up doing Beverly Hills Cop. So he ended up doing one thing and ended up being a great cop movie. That movie was called Cobra. Cobra is a badass cop movie. Great action, great suspense, great thriller. A little bit of horror stuff in there because of serial killers. Trying to get this witness, and he's protecting the witness, falls in love with the witness, and becomes an all-out war. And it's a really great movie. And when I came up with the idea of Haas, that's where I got the inspiration from of Cobra. Not the exact storylines or anything, but the elements. You know how the elements were all working. And I written Haas. It took me a whole year in the class because it's a yearly long class, and probably had 3 to 4 drafts of it because we work on it every day, every week. We present our stuff, and man, they loved Haas so much. You know, they loved it. They loved it. I don't want to say it was. I'm not the one to say it's the best one in the class, but they loved it. You know, they even call me Haas. They say, "Dude, Haas is you. Haas is you." I was like, "Really?" Because sometimes when you're writing, you don't realize that some of these characters are like you in a way, you know. So anyway, guys, let me tell you about the story of Haas. Here's Haas, a young police officer who goes rogue after nearly getting killed and tries to get revenge of who killed his best friend, who was also a cop. So, there's the opening scene already, and it's just these two guys in the car at a stoplight. It's red. These two guys talking. Haas, he's young, you know, and there's his friend Randy right there, best friend, knew him since they were kids, and he's been a cop for quite a while. You know, and he got his buddy Haas off the streets to become a cop, and he became a cop to go a positive road. And they're just chit chatting in the car. Then there's a scream from right across the street, and the house looks abandoned. Not really abandoned, but looks pretty old. Haas goes out there, and Randy goes out there. Only Haas heard it. Randy didn't hear nothing. So Haas goes in there and says, "Did you hear that? Sound like a girl screaming bloody murder." And he goes to the house, gun drawn and everything, says, "Okay, you know what?" Randy says, "I have to call this in." So he's about to call it in, but Haas says, "No, fuck that," and he breaks down the door. "You're not supposed to break the door down, you're supposed to call that shit in." And he said, "Oops." So they're both going, guns drawn, and they hear a cell phone ring. They think it's theirs. Like, no, it's not mine either. Then the phone stops. Someone's in the house. So they end up saying, "LAPD, put your hands in the air. We know you're in the house." Blah, blah, blah. You know, all that shit. And there's no girl. No sign of no girl. Randy ends up going upstairs, and Haas smells perfume. Girl perfume. He's like, "No, there's no girl here. We know there is a girl here. I smell her perfume." And Randy's still upstairs, and Haas looks more down at the floor and sees some blood. And blood makes a little, blood traces, and it makes an outline on the floor and looks like a door. And he says, "Randy, I think I found something here." And then out of nowhere, boom, from upstairs. Haas is pointing the gun upstairs, and he calls out to Randy. Randy's not answering. Before you know it, a door creaks. All I hear is a click, and boom! Haas gets shot in the head. Haas is on the floor, and you hear this awesome dialogue saying, "My dad always said rules are meant to be broken, even the law. Even how young and reckless I was, I never thought I would die by getting shot in the head. But the big mistake that they did was to make sure I was dead, because my heart was still beating." Then Haas wakes up in shock, screaming, and that is the opening scene. And his blood, Haas's own blood, was all over the floor, no trace of any girl blood or anything. Perfume from the gun smoke, all gone. And the chief just told him to relax. Relax. You just have to rest. He got shot in the head. He died right then and there. During surgery, he died. But he's still alive, Haas. Then he gets a visit from a female named Jade. And he's asleep and kisses him. It's his girlfriend. And they're talking, "Oh my god, oh, you're alive, oh my god." Emotional shit. And then the chief comes in and realizes that Jade is a cop too. But not just a cop, a detective. Small-time cop and a detective dating. What are the odds of that? And the chief puts her in charge of the investigation. But he's going intense therapy and says, "No, I'm getting out of this hospital no longer than a year." So he gets out of hospital in 6 months. That's how badass this guy is. He doesn't want to stay in no damn hospital. So he ends up going home with Jade, and the doctor's getting him all this motivation, just stay in shape. "I lost a brother that through gang violence and stuff, but he reminds me a lot of you. But if I had the chance to find the guy that did it, I'd be looking for some payback. Don't worry, I'm looking for a little bit more than just a little payback." So now he's at the house. Jade says, "You want to fix him something to eat?" He says no. Then he realizes that she's the head of the investigation. They found nothing yet. And he's really upset about it. He's frustrated. 6 long months? You haven't found nothing? he's disappointed. You know, she's not getting nowhere. No one's getting anywhere. 6 long months. And now she leaves. They kiss goodbye. Blah blah blah. And she left a copy of her investigation in her desk drawer in her house. And Haas is in the house all by himself. And as much as he wants to look in that case, he urges, it's pressure, the pressure. He wants to do it. He wants to do it so much. And eventually he says, crosses the line, says, fuck it. He breaks the desk drawer and looks at the case, looks at everything. That's when he goes rogue and says, I'm going to be doing my own not his own investigation, but he's going to be going out there himself, being a detective himself. And he does. So Haas does his entire investigation. He gets into fights and a little rusty, he's trying to get back in his mixed martial arts shit, but he's not that good now because he's rusty as hell. Been bit for 6 months, so what do you expect him to do? He's a little rusty, so get shaked out of him, but he still wins. And Jade eventually finds out. During the fights, Haas lost his watch. How does she know it's his watch? Because she gave that to him. And that really breaks her heart, realizing that her boyfriend that's off leave for getting shot in the head, physically, and she's trying to bring him in. She's trying to bring him in. And Haas, he hasn't lied about it. They're at the house, saying, no, I did it, yeah. Went to her desk and has the file, says, it took you 6 long months to get to this point. It only took me 2 days. And she tells him to stop. He's about to leave. She says, stop, stop, stop. And then she points a gun at him. And she says, and he says, always go by the book, right? Always go by the book. Haas turns his back away from her and just walks out. Jay doesn't shoot or do nothing. And finally, the bad guys tracked him down and almost kill Haas, but they didn't get anywhere near it. He goes to the original house where he got shot because maybe the girl is still in there. And he goes to the same place where the blood was all over the floor. And it's a door. It's a door. He opens it, just hopefully to find a girl in there. But there is no girl in there. No girl. And before he knows it, all is lost moment. Cops are at the front door. Haas is under arrest. Jade is right there. And right then, that moment, he says, I don't know what to feel right now. That the person who I love in the whole entire world is the love of my life or my world's worst enemy. At this moment, I don't care. So Haas is arrested, and Jade is in the two-way mirror on the other side, the interrogation. And this time Jade breaks some rules. And she turns off the cameras. And no one notices. She goes in there and says, I didn't do anything to do this. I didn't rat you out. I didn't do anything. I would never do that to you. She leaves, turns it back off. And now the chief comes in and says, you're going to jail for a long time now, you know that? And he says, no shit. And finally, he realizes that the chief's cell phone rings. And that ringtone is the same ringtone from that cell phone rang in the house. Exact same one. It was the chief that was inside that house. He was the one who shot Jerry. Jerry, I'm sorry, you shot Randy. Sorry, there's a lot of characters in this entire series. And that's when everything came to Haas's memory like boom, 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 boom. It all makes sense now. And Haas gets a phone call from the bad guy, from the chief. And it's the guy that shot him. And that's when he tells them, blah blah blah. Yeah, too bad your investigation didn't go so well. You're going to jail. Oh yeah, and all my girls that I have right now, they're all in blah blah blah. So he's a sex trafficker, guys. He's a sex trafficker. He's kidnapping women from all around the country, even from other countries too. And he's buying them and selling them and torturing them. Keeping them captive, slaves. That's what he's doing. That's what my writing teacher told me to do. He says push boundaries, push boundaries. Go overboard, go all the way, live up the level. He gave me the idea. How about a sex trafficking ring? I'm like, holy shit! I never thought about that. So that's what I did. Entire movie of a sex trafficking ring, and that's what Haas doesn't know about. He has no idea what's getting himself into until sometime in the second act. Not the very end, second act, because this is close to the ending right now. Probably close to page 90, I think, right now. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, he gets and one thing that he tells him too is that, oh yeah, and that woman you got, my God, she's beautiful. She's a very beautiful lady, and tells him that they got her, they got Jade, and the stakes are now risen higher. He has to save Jade. He has to save her. So what he does when cops come in, Haas breaks out police custody and fights the chief. The chief's in there too. Boom, boom, boom. Chief tries to get his gun, but Haas takes one of the cops' guns and shoots the chief dead. So he killed the traitor. He knocks out the cops, but he doesn't kill the cops. Those are his brothers, boys in blue. But the chief, no, he's dead. Dead traitor. Boom. No trial, no nothing. Kill him. And he ends up going to find a place, and he finds it all dressed up and everything. And the guy says, "Look out for Haas. Look out for Haas." And when he gets to this place is huge. It's like a mansion. There's lots of rich people there, nice and formal. A lot of armed guards, a lot of pretty women, beautiful women all over the place. Old men all over there, that have money. Women with entree, with entree dishes and stuff like that, with food. And Haas is over there, and a lady comes by and she says, "Hey, appetizer or entree, sir?" He says, "No, no, no, it's okay, no, thank you. Entree, sir, please." And she looks at this girl in the face, and face is wide, like that saying, "Please, take an entree." And Haas takes an entree, and it says, "We're in the basement. Help us." It's all happening right here, right now. And he ends up getting in a huge gunfight in there in front of everyone. Guns blazing all over the place. You have more cops come helping Haas out. And even a lot of people getting shot all over the place. Boom, boom, boom. But finally, Haas goes down into the basement and tries to find Jade. And hears chains all over the place. It's a dark room. You can't see nothing, You just see nothing. Like, you can't see a damn thing in front of his face. And finally, he turns on the breaker light. Whoosh, and there's a woman hooked up in chains all around the room. There's like 40 of them. All chained up in a room. Some of them are alive, some of them are dead. Some of them are starving, some of them are dead. Like I said. and he finds Jade, and the guy that shot him has Jade. Again, a badass gunfight. He has an M4. He has a pistol. They're all fighting physically, hand-to-hand combat and everything. She's trying to escape. The bad guy's chasing her up after Haas catches up after getting hurt. Now they're up there. Now they're having the final battle, the final big fight, And he gets up there, boom, boom. Haas is kicking his ass, Haas is kicking the shit out of him. Everyone's like, yeah, go, go, go. And I was expecting the audience, hell yeah. And, Jade is hurt. She gets shot by the bad guy in the arm, but she's fine. Well, finally, their guns are disputed or like gone. You know, they drop their guns. But Haas hits the guy on his own pistol, and the bad guy picks up the gun, and Haas runs to the M4, and the last thing he says was what the bad guy says is "Now die," and both of them just unload on each other, and we have no idea who won. All we know is that the bad guy drops dead on the floor. Boom, dead. Haas wins. Now Jade comes in. Oh my God, Haas, thank you. Oh my God, you saved me very much. Thank you, baby. Oh my God. But then Haas starts to breathe funny. He looks down. He starts to shiver more, and he can't breathe. He got shot in the lung. And Jade holds him in his arms, and he dies right then and there. And paramedics come in, trying to revive him. Jade's bawling her eyes out. And finally, now it's a year later, we don't know what the hell happened. It's the anniversary. It's the anniversary of this big, huge investigation of sex trafficking ring that's been solved. You know, all these female survivors come in, you know, celebrating the 1 year anniversary for being free, finally being free. All cops, civilians are there, and Jade's up there, is at the bar all by herself, just having a drink. And those 3 guys that Haas was hanging out with that helped him find the first suspect, one of them was trying to hit on her, and says, no, I don't think you want to do that. My husband. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, no. Somebody caught you to it. He says, really? Who? And all you hear in the background is, me, buddy. Turns around and it's Haas. Nick Haas is still alive. He survived it. and Nick and Jade at the very end, they are married. And that is the end of Haas. And also at the very end, even though they got married, you can totally tell with the rings, even in the script, he's also touching her belly. He's touching her belly a lot, realizing that they are having a baby. And that little baby's name is Charlie. It's a boy. And also that's when Haas 2 comes in. When Haas 2, now it's a few years later, they have a boy named Charlie. And this time, he's taking down a serial killer. And serial killer, he breaks into their house. It's called the Midnight Slasher. That's what I'm calling him, the Midnight Slasher. And it's got more suspense shit into it, and it's going crazy. It's going crazy. Not that many, not good important people die in this one. They get hurt, close to death, but no. But Haas gets banged up, Jade gets banged up. Their marriage was not really tested, but their relationship was kind of tested of Haas being in charge this time by going by the book. But then the serial killer ended up kidnapping Charlie. And this time, at the very end of the second act, all is lost, where Charlie is kidnapped. Levels have been risen, saying that you have until midnight, because every midnight slasher, he kills someone at midnight. That's the deal. As you have until midnight, or this person's gonna die. Here and there. And with the midnight slasher, he guts you. He guts you with his knife, and he slashes Roman numerals of the number 12 on your body, all over the place. This guy's a savage. This guy's vicious. He's a killer. He was going to do the same thing to Charlie. Cops are at the house right now and saying, don't do anything, we're going to find Charlie. And he finds out his entire idea with the conversations that Haas and the Midnight Slasher have had. And Midnight Slasher keeps saying, this is more personal to me than it is to you. And they see a broken picture frame of a family picture of Haas and Jade and Charlie together. And why is it always midnight with the slashes of the Roman numerals of 12, you know? Like, why is it so personal to him? And now it's come, and why Why does he keep breaking and entering to homes, you know, for killing innocent people? And it's because a midnight slasher parents were killed by a breaking and entering, and they were killed when he wasn't home, and they died at midnight. That's why he went loose, killed those guys, got his revenge, but he loved it. He loved to kill. He's aroused by it. Now he want to keep on doing it forever. And now kidnapping Haas's kid? I don't think so. I don't think so. And at the very end of Haas 2, they put Charlie in the kung fu. They put him in kung fu to self-defense himself. But at the beginning of Haas 2, other than because the opening scene of Haas 2 is a serial killer killing someone, but after that, after the opening credits, boom, Haas 2, Haas takes down a gun trade deal that's gone wrong, and he takes him down, and one of the guys says, "You have no idea who my employer is," blah blah blah, and we never hear from that again. Just continue on with the Midnight Slasher. And I know everyone's thinking, well, I want to know more about this. You know, you just can't forget about that. And you know what? You're right. You're right. We can't forget about that. So, with the gun trade stuff, at the very, very end, with Charlie's master, kung fu master, and everything, he meets up with the family. The master, they seem really nice guy, you know. Like, okay, I'm glad this guy is my kid's teacher. He's a nice guy. I trust him. And then the master goes in the back. He has a phone call. And who is the guy he's talking to? It's the guy that Haas arrested with the gun trade. He says, "Hey man, I'm sorry about your guns." Holy shit. It's come back. It's come back. And this time, this guy, the master, is the bad guy. And he says, "Don't worry about it. I will take care of this myself." And the guy in jail that's calling, he gets killed in jail right then and there by damn Taiwanese freedom fighters. They all kill the guy in jail. And that's set to be continued moment right then and there for you for Haas 3. And as you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm writing Haas 3 right now, and it is the last final conclusion of Haas. This is an all-out war, and this is the most emotional one I've ever had. Many people in this script are going to die, and maybe one of the main characters are going to die as well. And this journey has been unbelievable. You know, it's like I know these people, you know, and they don't exist. You know, it's like you know these guys. This is your heart. This is who you come out to. It's like who you love. You put that in the movie. You know, who did you love in this, and you put that in the movie. You know, and who are your friends? You know, you put that in the movie. You put your heart and soul into this movie, and it really makes me sad to see it finally come to an end. But it makes me really happy with the journey of Haas, Jade, and little Charlie. And this trilogy will probably change action movies forever. Not just by the genre, but story-wise. Everyone's gonna love Haas. So guys, this has been another great Bates vlog, or should I say Haas vlog. But next week we're gonna be talking about something, because I gave a little ideas of story time about what should I talk about, of my baseball bat story or the woman in the red dress story. And it was the woman in the red dress that won, so I'll be doing that next week. And why I bring it up is because a few days ago I went to my grandparents' house, and my grandmother found something right here that I did back in 2003. Right here. Oh my god, it was a spelling test. I see my writing's complete shit, but it says 100%. I was like, oh, okay, 100%. But at the very back of it, it says a sentence right here. Dictation. And Connor, that's my best friend in the whole wide world. He's my brother. I remember I wrote, Connor ran to the car to hug his mom. Okay. But the second sentence said this: the girl in the red dress is Jasmine. The girl in the red dress. This is me at 8 years old. My symbolism of red. And women in my movie, a lot of them wear red. Objects in my movies are red. This is me at 8 years old. And this is me now. Whoa. Movie after movie. Whatever movie I make, there's only certain people that's going to be looking at this. And they're going to be the first to know. And those people are you. Guess who's back?